Why are all these celebrities using the imagery of black goo? So Megan Fox just did it, and there are so many other famous celebrities who use it in their music videos. But let's start with Megan Fox. Just recently, she shared a photo online to announce her pregnancy. But instead of the usual soft or joyful imagery you might expect, she chose something dark, very dark. The photo was shadowy, eerie, and that mysterious black goo was present. And people went crazy over this. Fans in the media, everyone wondering, what the heck does this mean? Is it supposed to symbolize something dark or sinister in motherhood? Or is there something deeper going on? I have made quite a few videos of Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly, and they're no stranger to dark imagery. Everyone knows that viral clip saying they literally drink each other's blood, and they thought nothing was wrong or weird about it. And just looking at photos of them, stuff they've done in the past, they are no stranger to this type of imagery. Now, Megan is not alone in using this black goo motif. Lady Gaga, in her most recent music video, actually has a similar element. There is a scene where the darker version of her character actually throws up the same black goo onto her. The imagery is intense, and a lot of people see it as a way of her embracing her inner demons, or at least accepting the darker sides of herself. You know, Lady Gaga has never shied away from using strong symbolism. Like Megan Fox, I've also made a lot of videos of Gaga, and she is not afraid to show her dark side. So now we're starting to see a trend, but we need to answer the question, why does the same disturbing image reoccur with all of these celebrities? Let's talk about Justin Timberlake now. In his last music video, we see this demon-like figure throwing up this same black goo onto him. It's a very unsettling visual. It's actually disgusting, to say the least. But Timberlake's face is now covered in this dark substance, and as the video continues, he becomes surrounded by demons. It becomes very, very intense, almost as if he's being possessed by this darkness. But we need to figure out, what is this all about? Is it a metaphor? Is it inner turmoil? Is it struggles with fame? Or is it something deeper, like possession? Every time we see this black goo, we always see the same exact imagery in the music video. And we can't ignore Billie Eilish. Now, the interesting thing with her is that she uses this symbolism multiple different times in different music videos. So the first time we see it with her, she actually drinks it. Now, what this means to me, I'm just thinking out loud here, is that she is choosing to go to the dark side, or this is a result of her choices, because she is voluntarily drinking this substance. And as it goes on, it starts to ooze out of her eyes, and it's this really scary image. Then she starts to look like she becomes possessed just by the way her body is moving. And then in the next music video, she's portrayed with wings, and she is covered all in this black goo. Maybe it's like tar this time because it's on the street, and it looks like she's representing a fallen angel or Lucifer, because in the first scene she is seen falling down from the sky or heaven, and she's white. Her wings are white, and the body just looks like a brighter version of herself. And then she ends up falling and crashing into the ground, covered in the substance. And just like the others, Billie Eilish is known for embracing the darker themes in her music, but this particular imagery of the black goo seems to represent something more than just sadness or angst. And people think that it represents the struggle between light and darkness just because of the theme of the music video. And something that you need to know just for context is the first words of this music video. She says, "My Lucifer is lonely," whatever that means. Here's the thing, when I see imagery like that, especially when it gets to the Lucifer and the possession, and when she starts saying stuff like that, the only thing I can think about is demon possession. I feel like that's what makes sense. But here's the thing, we have to go back to the very first picture. Megan Fox did it to announce her pregnancy. Now that just doesn't make sense. Why would she show some type of symbol that represents possession when she's having a baby? So I wanted to look into a few theories and just see what other people are saying. One popular idea is that black goo represents the darker side of transformation. Whether it's fame, self-acceptance, or major life change like pregnancy, transformation can be painful, messy, and sometimes even dark. Maybe for Megan, the black goo isn't meant to be ominous, but rather to symbolize the complexities and difficulties of motherhood, showing that it's not always as picture perfect as we like to think. And another theory links it to spiritual struggles, maybe even to the ideas of possession or letting the darkness in. This could represent the influence of fame and maybe the sacrifices that come with it. But here's the thing, Megan Fox has 3 kids already, 3 boys, and here's some pictures of them and her children. And just to put it in perspective, what she said recently, she said, Noah started wearing dresses when he was about 2 years old, and I bought a bunch of books that sort of address these things and address the full spectrum of what this is. Some of the books are written by transgender children. Some of the books are just about how you can be a boy and wear a dress. You can express yourself through your clothing however you want, and that doesn't even have to have anything to do with your sexuality. So, from the time they were very young, I've incorporated these things into their daily lives so that nobody feels like they are weird or strange or different. And I just can't wrap my head around it, but knowing this kind of makes things a little bit more interesting, and do with that information what you want. But this is where the theories get even more interesting. So, the third theory is something that's even darker. Some people believe that this imagery hints at something occult or ritualistic, maybe kind of a modern baptism in darkness. Now, this is not a new idea. Art and pop culture have long used dark symbolism to represent struggle or inner conflict, but with celebrities embracing it so openly, could it mean that they're exploring these themes as a form of connection or understanding with their audience? But man, that dark baptism, that occult ritualistic thing, kind of gets my brain turning, and it gives me chills just thinking about what that could possibly mean. But hey, it could be some type of trend. It could be an aesthetic that just makes them look mysterious for some clickbait purposes. Maybe it does represent something. I do think it represents something, especially in those music videos. In the music videos, I think it's clear that the goo means demonic possession and inner struggles. That Billie Eilish, when she drank that, it was a choice that she did, and it backfired on her. And I think maybe Justin Timberlake being around the scene because he was, and it looked like some type of club where people started to become demons. And then after the goo went onto his face, he started to become possessed. I think it was just who he was associating with, the things he was doing started to possess his life, and then ultimately backfires. And then with Lady Gaga, she even said it herself that this song is about embracing her inner demons, and that when the demon like version of her threw up that goo, it was her embracing it, and then she eventually hugged that person. So I think that it's them saying that they have dark struggles, and whatever they went through, they're telling us they're in pain and it's tough, and they're using art and music videos to express what they've been through. So that's just my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think, especially about the Megan Fox thing.